My friends, today is the day. I'm camping out in the van after I organize all this crap in the van. I'm in southern Arizona at Kartchner Caverns State Park, which I've never heard of, but apparently the sign says it's the best caves in the USA. So I'm gonna have to check that out. But the first order of business today is cleaning up this utter mess that I've created for myself, organizing things, putting all my extra space to use, getting this dialed in. I'm like a week in and it just feels like it's a junk show right now. So I'm gonna figure that out. I'm gonna have a clear mind to get some work done. Boom, there we go. Everything is out of the place. It's perfect. We are doing just fine. Ah, Jesus. Okay. I didn't do anything. I just took it all out. All right, first, let's do a little sweep and suck. Okay, a nice little 3 hours later, and I have done it. We are, God, it looks all dirty. I gotta vacuum, but it's decent. Everything is in its place. I have clean clothes in there. I need to fold up, but I gotta make myself some lunch / dinner, some dinner here, and actually eat and cook in the van for the first time. I got myself one of these induction cooktop stove. Oh God. Wow, van life. It's like a whole bottle of this stuff. I think this was full. Ugh. Okay, like I was saying, I've got an induction cooktop, and that requires special cookware, but since I worked at the potsandpans.com, I've got a nice Analon cookware that is compatible with this kind of thing. It's like magnetic. I'm gonna try to keep it pretty simple and just do a little pasta with some ground beef. So I'm trying to lay out all these steps in my head. How much water do we need? How am I gonna drain the pasta? A lot of questions to be answered. How do I even turn this thing on? There was a big sticker that I removed that was like very explicit about how you turn it on. And whenever there's a big sticker on a product, it means they had to do that later because people were too dumb to figure it out. Let's take it up to 7. That's a little bit too much beef for that pan. So I can kind of peek under here and see that my inverter is being used pretty good, but the real indicator is right here. So this is my battery level of the 2 batteries in the van, since this is all electrical cooking. 27 volts coming from the solar right now. And if this drains to the bottom before I finish, then it's no good, but it's holding steady. Oh yeah, turning the fan on would be a good idea. Okay, also opening the van up, because I remember you guys saying that condensation inside the van is a huge issue, potential issue. So just get it all open here, let it all dissipate. Hopefully I'm making the right move here. We shall see. It is 58 degrees in the van right now, so it's actually comfortable. I got my sweatshirt on, my sweatpants on. It's not too bad. Okay, I'm gonna do the smart move and use the hookup here to fill up my water instead of draining my water from my tank and maybe running out. All right, the meat looks pretty good to me. Now I am boiling some water, and oh dear God, we are using power. Oh no, I don't know if I'm gonna get through boiling this water. Broke the breaker. Oh man, son of a gun. It was bound to happen. So here's the question. Do you put it back and you forge ahead, or do you just sit alone with your ground beef and pasta sauce? Okay, I'll turn off the fan, I'll unplug some stuff, and hopefully we'll get through this. We're back online. I'm staying at power 8. Boil, let's do this. Oh, at least it's still a happy face. Oh man, it just did that thing where it starts to foam up and try to boil over, so I had to panic, turn this off. Let's bring it back down to power 5 and hope for no more disasters. Okay, no strainer, so let's see how much angel hair I lose down the sink here. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Okay, while this is hot, we need it to heat up the sauce. Well, I guess I could turn it back on for a little while. I was planning to have this for 2 meals. It's so much. I think I'm gonna put the grease from the meat into the Classico jar and dump it into a toilet or a RV dump as to not totally contaminate my gray water with the crazy, probably unremovable smell and stank of a rotting meat liquid. I'll tell you one thing I don't have, a fork. There we go. A nice hearty meal. I do have these Pyrex containers and a fridge, so I'll be able to not waste anything. I'm calling that a successful-ish mission. Gotta get a fork, gotta get a propane stove, gotta get some things. This is all a learning process. Put my dish soap in a prophylactic here. Walking around getting ideas for my next rig. This is a little USB port here, and it has the voltage on it, and in the darkness of the van, this thing is very, very bright. I was thinking I was gonna tape it up, but I think I'm just gonna pull the fuse and be done with it for now. Yeah. All right, the stomach is full from a very nice meal, even though it might not have looked pretty. Now I'm gonna actually sit down in this captain's chair and work on the computer for the first time ever. I've only done it for test fits. So now I've got to hop on the laptop, tons of emails from you guys that I need to get through to actually plot out, maybe some ride invitations and stuff, videos to edit, all kinds of stuff to do before bedtime. Never enough hours in the day. So we've currently got an internal temperature of 53 degrees in the van. The overnight low is supposed to be 34 degrees. So it's time to set up my little portable heater and see how that goes. All right, I've got it started up. It's kind of a weird process to start it up. You got to hold it down and you got to ignite it. And it almost has a passive catalytic kind of thing. It's not an open flame. It's very interesting. I put my vent fan up. I've got the driver's side window cracked, so there's a little bit of airflow coming through here to help from not dying inside the van. I've also got no internet signal out here. I can send text messages and stuff, but I can't check my email. So it's all video editing from here on out. All right, I just spent the past couple of hours editing video and it's been going good. I'm about halfway done through one video and the heater is doing a really fine job. It was up to maybe 63, 64 in here. It's back down to 58, but I actually feel warm. I think in part to the double stuffed Oreos. You just eat sugar and it warms you up. It's a very good strategy. I also just heard it start raining on the roof here, very light, and then I looked at the weather forecast. We've got snow at 3 and 4 a.m., so maybe I'll wake up and it'll be all dusty white out there. I'm gonna keep the heater going, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, mission accomplished. Waking up and wow, it's actually kind of bright outside. Not too bright inside the old sleeper car. No snow on the ground, but I did hear it raining off and on all night. Wind. There was a lot of stopping and starting with the sleeping. It wasn't too bad. The main thing, I never got cold. The heater did its job. I kept checking the little thermostat in the car and or the thermometer in the car, and right around 57 degrees the entire night. So that's perfectly sleepable. Never got down too far. We did it. Very curious to check in on my sleep and my recovery. So, okay, the Whoop strap says 7 hours, 50 minutes of sleep and 95% recovery. That is pretty amazing, actually. The fountain of youth inside the van. I'm very happy to have Whoop as a sponsor. It's a real-time heart rate monitor strap. Keep an eye on your activities, your sleep, and your recovery. It just lets you know when you can work out hard, gives you the stats to take control of your fitness. If you want to check it out, use code BKXC on whoop.com. The old bed was not too shabby either. I feel like it was pretty stiff, which was a good thing. I never felt uncomfortable. I never felt like, oh, I'm hurting. I did probably end up angling sideways a little bit, because even if I was going this way, I felt like my feet were up against this thing. And this is just transferring a lot of cold weather. And that's actually why I was thinking this thing being right up against this is probably not a perfect temperature gauge, since it's right up against this panel, which is always transmitting cold or transmitting heat. Very curious to see how long it takes for the battery to get recharged today after really putting a hit on it using the induction cooktop. It's probably been kind of sort of light out for an hour. I don't think the sun is actually in the sky yet, but we're still getting some good voltage. So this place is called Kartchner Caverns, so I had to go take a tour of one of the caverns, and it was pretty damn cool. I took a tour of the big room, which is only open between October and April because bats live in it the other half of the year. The story goes that two caver buddies were out here exploring. They knew the geology probably was conducive to caves, and they stumbled upon one of the biggest undiscovered caves in the United States, just super preserved, not touched by anyone. They had to kind of work their way through very tight crevices that then opened up to massive, massive caves. They thought they were cave hunting on public land, but it turned out it was private land. So they kept it a secret for about 4 years among 5 friends. And then they finally got the nerve up to tell the landowner. And it turned out that he was a former superintendent of schools and science teacher. So the landowner was not going to try to turn it into a tourist attraction. He wanted to preserve it, to study it, and to, eventually turn it into a park as it is now. So running that heater all night, I really have no idea how much propane I used. It looks like we're chooching right along here with the solar panel feeding the batteries. A little bit more than halfway, maybe. Okay, it's time to get back on the road and say goodbye to Arizona. Oh, but before I leave, I need to dump my gray water in this little hole in the ground, RV dump, and I've never done this before, so I'm just trying to figure it out. Okay, that was very simple. Just pop the lid, dump it in, good to go. I actually found this campsite through the Wayfarer Vans app. They have this little private community. When you buy a van, you get access to all these little spots. So I saw this pin, so I headed down to southern Arizona to find it, and got all these different little campsites. Oh, I guess I can't give away the secrets here. But this is how, this is how I found this one. Pretty cool little idea. Most people don't want to give away their little secret campsites, but if you're in a little private community, it makes it a little bit easier. Okay, now that I've spent the night in the van, I know I need a few more things, and you go to where they've got the goods. Walmart is a road trip lifesaver everywhere across the USA. This is the pee jug section. I think I could put this to use. Also, if you want your pee jug to be fancy, you can use glass. Yeah, I don't know if this would really work for a pee jug. Okay, we got the XO1 forks, and then we got the XX1. Ooh, oil slick. Okay, so even after all that pee bucket talk, I actually did not end up getting one. But I did get a few more things. Got some stackable bins with lids, so I could organize some of this stuff a little bit better in this area. Another blanket with the hopes of me putting this over the top of everything. I won't have to run the heater all night. Got that sweet cutlery. Folding handsaw for being out on the trail and cutting down trees if it's that kind of day. Bucket for bike washing or other types of bucket activities. Maybe even pooping in here eventually. One thing we totally forgot, fire extinguisher. So now I'm ready to go in case of emergency. And an LED light strip because turning these lights off, it gets really dark, but these lights are a little too harsh, so I'm looking for something in the middle. And a sweet little boombox to make my fellow campers jealous with how much extra bass I've got. Adolfo's, Benson, Arizona. I can recommend it. I got the taco burrito combo, both beef. Taco, a little dry, not so good. The burrito was excellent. They got that green chili sauce going in there. It was something to behold. Very, very cool. So that'll be it for Arizona for now. Who knows if I'll be back later or not. I got a lot of states to do, and I got 2 rides in, so you guys should feel special. Heading out on the road. Tune in next time. I'm not doing this again. Tune in next time. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you on the trail.